Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Building a house is really exciting, but it can also be very overwhelming with hundreds of decisions to make. But if you do a little homework, you'll be able to recuse your anxiety. Reduce. It's like, that's not a word I know. Oh my goodness. Reduce your anxiety with confidence. Rachel's here to help us from Equity Bank. Equitable Bank.
Yes. Yeah, we got the English professor here.
I know.
It's
like, I've never heard that word before. Like,
that's the thing about reading teleprompter on television. It's like, it's funny how it can throw you off, but you're doing an awesome job. Great to see you.
Thank you.
I thought so too. Let's talk a little bit about building a home and like some of the things that you should know or do, because I think number one is they talk about this with any project. The budget is important. You should know what you can afford.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. What a letdown, right? You go to and look at these houses and you're like, I want this and that and that, and then you go to apply and they go, well, you can afford this. And so certainly go and talk to an experienced loan officer. Our loan officers at the Equitable Bank have been doing construction lending for a long time. It's a different type of lending than regular just buying an existing house. So you want to have someone who knows what they're doing. Our loan officers will, sit down with you. They'll see what you're looking for. They're going to tell you what you can afford. So then you can go out and you can talk and interview builders and figure out what you can afford.
And that's the other point that you make that I think is really helpful, is get to know the builder, and you can help with that.
Absolutely, yeah. We work with builders all the time. Certainly we're happy to point people in the direction of builders that we know. There's a lot of really good builders in our area, though, so get to know them. Look on the Better Business Bureau's website, the Metropolitan Builders Association, and just ask for customer reviews. Maybe tour some homes that those builders have built in the area.
And most of them would be happy to have you do that.
Oh,
right?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would. And I mean, they're trying to make that sale, so they're gonna, certainly let you walk through and check out their stuff.
Well, it's like a lot of relationships, even if it's professionals. There's got to be a good chemistry. You've got to be able to feel like you can talk to your builder. That person is very important because they're your go-to person.
Well, and it's a big deal. Building a house is months long. Sometimes it's gets really long depending on what you're doing. So you really have to have a good working relationship and have a trust with that builder that they're going to do right by you.
Well, and your next point I think is awesome because everybody wants to build.
Think of this. I know. Think of this
in a way that suits them and their family and their particular needs, and might be some quirky things. But you say build for resale.
Yes, certainly you want to build for yourself. And it's a big deal. It's super fun.
Probably the biggest thing you're ever going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you want to build for yourself, but you need to be smart about it as well, because the chances are at some point you're going to have to sell that house. Whether you're downsizing or things change, people have to sell their house. So think about things like, well, we only need 2 bedrooms. I just want 2 huge bedrooms, and that's really great for you now. But think about when you have to resell that house. A 2-bedroom house is harder to sell than a 3 or a 4-bedroom house. Don't put something weird. Don't have a hot tub room in the near the living room or something like that. That might be really cool because maybe you want to have that, but that might be weird for someone else, and that might make it hard for you to sell that house. So think about the layout and the flow, and you have to find that point where it's still what you want, but it would be something other people will want to.
Well, and I think coming to you folks at the Equitable Bank, where you've got this kind of experience, then you can help people figure out what are some of the things that are kind of on trend that are going to have longevity that you want to make sure you include in the house for resale.
Absolutely. You want to think about those things, and a good builder is going to help steer you in the right direction as well.
Yeah. And it's okay to think green and ask questions about how they dispose of materials or things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. How do they handle things? Where do they put things? And then how energy efficient are the windows they're putting in, the doors, the insulation, all that kind of stuff. You're paying for that, and you're putting a building up. I mean, you're putting a building up in the community. You want to make sure that you're being smart about it and you're being as green and as energy efficient as you can as well. It'll save you money in the long run too.
Well, and the other point that you make is that you can help people figure out what they need and not just what they want. And that's a little different from the resale idea too, because most of us, if we're going to do something like this, our budget's tight and limited, and we're not going to do it again probably for a while.
Well, when you go through a model house, for example, and you look and you're, oh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and there's all these beautiful things, and you think, well, that's just a faucet, and those are just drawer pulls, and you would be surprised how quickly that stuff adds up. So start thinking, maybe make lists of things like, we have to have this, or Is it something that the builder needs to do because it's structural
Yeah.
and it will be really hard to do later? Or is it something that, well, okay, I'm going to step back from now because it's going to save me a couple $1,000s and I can put that $1,000 here where it's something I can't do 5 years down the road.
I like it. And right now, people can get to know some of the area builders, get some great ideas to start thinking about building a house, because the Parade of Homes is going on now through September 7th. And I know people can visit the Equitable Bank's booth at the Delafield location and get a free gift, which is wonderful. In addition to that, you brought 8 tickets that will be available at the Equitable Bank in Wauwatosa. We have 4 sets of 2 to give away for the Parade of Homes. So you can go absolutely for free. Just call, and you have to be one of the first 4 people to call the phone number you see there on your screen. It's 414-777-4411. Each caller, the first 4 callers, will win 2 tickets, and you'll pick those up at the Wauwatosa location, which is North Avenue and
Mayfair Road,
Mayfair
right on the
Road.
corner.
Awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, come in or call, and the tickets are good for all 3 locations of the Parade of Homes. But make sure to come out to Delafield and see the houses and visit the Equitable Bank
for a free gift.
Yes,
Which is
absolutely.
great. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks,
You always have
Rachel.
great tips. Great to see you.
You're recused.
I like it.